Hi, this is Demonic Leafy. Today I'm doing my first commentary ever on the SideQuest Gamers review of Donkey Kong Country 3. The review was bad, so I'm doing a commentary on it.
Hello everyone, Alkelger the SideQuest Gamer here, and today we are wrapping up this trilogy with Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. The most polarizing entry in the trilogy, where some people think it's the best in the trilogy and other people think it's the weakest in the trilogy. As to where I stand, well, you're about to find out. So let's roll the footage and check out Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble for the Super Nintendo.
Otherwise known as the introduction to one of the worst reviews ever.
Now this is, like I said, the most polarizing entry in the trilogy. The reason being, in 1994, the first game took the world by storm with its fantastic visuals, music, and gameplay. And then in 1995, this is how you top near perfection.
Come on, give that game a blowjob.
And I honestly feel that this game only existed because A, there was a cliffhanger ending at the end of Donkey Kong Country 2, and B, it would be weird just to not make it a trilogy. Yes, let me explain. Video game series are often most beloved in trilogies. Like for example, the original Super Mario Bros. NES games were in a trilogy, the Mega Man X Super Nintendo releases were in a trilogy, Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy in Japan at least had a trilogy for each of the Famicom and the Super Famicom consoles. So to release a series with just two entries would be kind of odd. Star Tropics, and for the longest time Shenmue were just two entry series, and people commonly dedicated video game forums with discussions about how awesome a third entry would be, rather than accept closure for what it is, especially if it ended on a cliffhanger.
That's the fucking stupidest reason not to make a third game.
So here we have Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble. The game was developed by Rare and published by Nintendo, starring, you guessed it, Dixie Kong, and her sidekick in the game being Kiddy Kong. Dixie was my favorite character in the previous game, and for her to have her own solo adventures sounded great to me, but who is Kiddy Kong? Anyways, the story involves Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong going off to explore the Northern Hemisphere, a mysterious land very reminiscent of the Canadian wilderness. But Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong disappear, so Dixie decides to go look for them and takes her cousin Kiddy Kong along with one of Funky Kong's watercrafts and explores the Northern Hemisphere and finds that this land is crawling with the new Kremlin army led by their new leader, a rocket-propelled robot named Chaos. Yup. Chaos is totally the villain of Donkey Kong Country 3 and totally not K. Rool in any possible way, despite us seeing him escape in the cliffhanger ending of Donkey Kong Country 2. It's just like how Mr. X was the main villain of Mega Man 6 and totally wasn't Dr. Wily despite him escaping his fortress in Mega Man 5's ending. Yes, game, I totally believe you, it's Chaos.
How does pointing out the story make this review any better? In fact, it makes it worse.
However, are pretty good. All of them are pretty weird and out of nowhere, like Belcha, Squirt, and Bleak, but all of them are pretty fun to fight, although they're kind of easy compared to the previous game's bosses.
Have you ever played this game ever?
I would give this game an 86 out of 100. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to agree with the popular opinion on this one. I consider this game to be the weakest in the trilogy, objectively for the reasons I've mentioned previously, and subjectively because I've had the least amount of fun with this game compared to the other two. After all, a wise man, or that wise man's wife whom he didn't give credit to.
This just makes it even worse. You hate this game, fuck.